If there's an all-you-can-eat ikura anywhere, we're 110% there. So when we found a hotel in Tokyo serving unlimited salmon roll for breakfast, we booked it as soon as we could. This is Onyado Nono Asakusa, and honestly, this might have been one of our favorite hotel hops in Japan so far. Okay, so we have to start with breakfast because it's generally what convinced us to stay here. Ikura in Japan and anywhere else is usually quite expensive, so seeing this much salmon roll on a hotel buffet felt very dangerous and completely blew us away. And yes, it's completely all you can eat. We may have went back for maybe more than one bowl. It was nice because there was no judgment from the staff about how much ikura you were picking up, and they kept on replenishing the ikura selection, so it felt like a free-flowing ikura buffet. But what was even better was that there were so many other amazing Japanese side dishes that you can pick up to complement your dish, as well as some Western options as well too, in case that is what you were craving for the day. This is what the breakfast area looked like. Beyond the ikura station, there was actually a really impressive selection of other things like Japanese breakfast dishes, grilled fish, small side dishes, soups, fresh fruit, desserts, and plenty of options to build your own breakfast exactly how you wanted it. One thing we really appreciated was that the buffet didn't feel like it was relying only on its ikura as its selling point. There was generally lots of variety, and everything we felt was very fresh and thoughtfully prepared. We stayed here for a total of 3 nights, which meant 3 breakfasts, and we looked forward to it every single day. There were slight changes during our stay, with some of the side dishes and desserts being rotated around, but honestly there were already so many choices that we never got bored. In fact, we found ourselves having fun with the different combinations every morning. Here's what we ended up putting together during our stay. Day 1 was all about maximizing the ikura situation, because you have to maximize the value. And by day 2, we started branching out a little bit and leaving so much stomach space to try out some other dishes. And by the final morning, we had to go respect our roots, which meant getting even more ikura. Safe to say, breakfast became one of our favorite parts about staying here. And even if you don't book the breakfast option, the hotel still offers complimentary late-night ramen for its guests, which we also took part of. At the end of the night, it was nice to have something warm and a familiar spot outside your hotel room to decompress after a busy day of exploring around Tokyo. The food alone was already so good, but what surprised us was how cozy and thoughtful the entire hotel felt. One thing we love about hotel hopping in Japan is seeing how each day has its own personality. And Onyado Nono honestly felt less like a standard city hotel and more like a modern take on a traditional ryokan experience, but at a fraction of its cost. We really loved that the hotel used tatami floorings and incorporated a lot of design elements inspired by traditional Japanese homes. From the moment you step inside and take your shoes off, everything instantly felt calmer, quieter, and more intentional. I guess stepping on tatami really grounds you. There was also this really calming traditional Japanese melody playing in the background of the common spaces, which made it feel like a soft reset every time you came back, especially after being out in Asakusa, which can be super lively and honestly a little bit overstimulating at times. After a full day walking around Tokyo, it generally became one of our favorite parts of the stay, just to come back here and slow down. We booked a double room for our stay, and while Tokyo hotel rooms are notoriously compact, this one felt surprisingly comfortable for 2 people because of the traditional Japanese elements and the cozy tatami floors. It was also very nice to have the windows so close to the bed because it felt so calming seeing the skytree lit up at night, and also so relaxing waking up in the morning with the natural sunlight. We also loved how we could open up the window and watch the sunset with the beautiful Sensoji temple in the background. Now let's talk about the room itself. We booked the cheapest room for a couple, the double room, which meant we had a double bed. It was comfortable for us, but if you're on a taller side, you may want to double check the dimensions because you may need to upgrade to a queen room. Since the room itself is compact, there is only one side of the bed with plugs, which may be a potential con. If you have a lot of devices to charge and you plan to stay here for multiple nights, you may need to bring a power strip. Now let's talk about the bathroom. The bedroom itself is separated by a sliding door, and there's a regular door that you can use for the washroom. Immediately after opening doors, you will see the bidet toilet, which is the glorious wonder of Japan. Trust me, after experiencing a warm toilet seat, you can never go back. Right beside the toilet, you have the bidet controls to make sure that you're especially clean after going to the washroom. And right across from the toilet, you have the shower, which is definitely compact in size because most people here are actually going to the onsen that this hotel offers. But I did also try using the shower while I was staying in this hotel, and I can tell you the water pressure was very good. Now let's chat about the hotel amenities. So definitely after having a long stay in Japan, you need to wash your clothes. And luckily, this hotel does have washing machine and dryers. This hotel is actually really good because the washer is actually free of charge. The only thing you have to pay for is the dryer function, which is actually pretty affordable too compared to the other hotels that we stayed in. During our stay, the dryer was 100 yen for 20 minutes of drying, which is slightly less than $1 USD. Look at how many washing machine and dryers there are here. It's so incredible. You definitely don't have to wait much if you need to wash your clothes or dry your clothes here. Usually at other hotels, we have to wait till really late at night in order to wash our clothes because there's honestly not enough machines. But here, we actually were able to wash a lot of our clothes quite often. Do keep in mind that the dryer only takes 100 yen coins, so if you need coins, you may need to check with the front desk or go to a convenience store and buy something to break some cash. I was also pleasantly surprised because they had a women's only washing and drying area too, and it was secured by a pin code, so it felt very secure. Next, we have an area with a microwave, which is very useful, and they also provide you utensils too, which is a very nice touch. Next to this, there's also a designated smoking area. If you don't have time to run out to the konbini to get yourself some drinks, there are so many vending machines with lots of drinks that you can choose from here, and they had options for both hot and cold drinks. Depending on the time of the day, you may also be able to access the lounge area, which has complimentary water, coffee, teas, and drinks. It was nice because we were able to try some of the Japanese sodas and juices that we saw in stores, like the Minute Aid ones, as well as there's a lot of electrolyte drinks because they have the onsen here. In general, this was a nice area to just relax and try some of the goodies that we bought from the convenience store, like this creme brulee ice cream that I've been eyeing for a while, as well as the oden, which was a winter specialty because we're there during the winter month. One of the biggest reasons people stay at Onyado Nono is for the onsen. We obviously couldn't film inside, but here's a picture from their website. One of the main reasons why this is really popular is because this is an actual onsen and not just a regular public bath, which is quite rare for Tokyo. This means that you're bathing in real mineral-rich hot spring water, and that's what also gives it the iconic black color. In addition to the onsen, they also have a tub bath, a sauna, and a cold plunge. Even if you're a little bit shy about dressing down for the onsen experience, I do still highly recommend that you try to take advantage of this onsen hotel amenity. It was honestly one of our top-ranked hotel bathing experiences that we had in Japan so far. Plus, they also have free yogurt drinks and ice cream as a refreshing reward after your bath. You will honestly regret missing out, especially after a tiring day of walking around. The location is another huge reason why we would recommend staying here. It's honestly one of the factors that makes this hotel a little bit more expensive, but it's exactly why we would also recommend it. You're only a few minutes away from Sensoji Temple, one of Tokyo's most iconic attractions and a place that's almost on everyone's itinerary when they first visit Japan. What we really loved was being able to experience Sensoji Temple at different times of the day. During the daytime, the area is full of energy, food stalls, shops, and visitors exploring the temple grounds. But at nighttime, the atmosphere completely changes. The crowd thins out, the temple becomes beautifully illuminated, and it feels much more peaceful. One of our favorite memories actually was being able to come back in the evening and being able to enjoy the grounds at a slower pace. We even got to do our fortune reading without being rushed by the crowds, which made the experience a lot more enjoyable. And then there's also H3. If you've ever seen the viral fried sandwiches all over social media, you'll know that the lines can sometimes stretch to an hour or more during the busy periods. But the funny thing is that H3 is literally right next door to this hotel. So being that close meant that we can easily stop by a snack without even needing to line up at all. Beyond the major attractions, Asakusa itself ended up being one of our favorite neighborhoods to explore. Because of how popular the area is with visitors, there's so many food stalls, shops, cafes, and unique local experiences all packed into a relatively small area. During our stay, we got to try a delicious creme brulee taiyaki, experience our first monjayaki, and discover lots of other spots just by wandering around. It's the kind of neighborhood where you kind of leave your hotel with no real plans and still end up finding something interesting around every corner. And speaking of the location, we have to talk about the view from our room. Now this depends on the room category and the room that you're assigned, but we honestly felt incredibly lucky with ours. From our window, we had the direct view of Sensoji Temple with the Tokyo Skytree in the background. It was one of those views that constantly made us stop and look outside before heading out for the day. We also loved watching the sunset from the room, seeing the sky change colors over the Asakusa area, and then watching the city slowly light up as the evening approached. Another unexpected bonus was being able to look out over the nearby Asakusa Hanayashiki amusement park. It was surprisingly fun to do a little people watching from above and see the streets gradually come to life every morning as more visitors filled the area. Honestly, it was one of those views that made us want to spend a little bit more time in our room than we originally planned. For us, this was definitely a hotel we would happily come back on a future trip. Please help support our channel by giving us a like, commenting, and subscribing. We'll see you again for the next one. Take care. Bye.